السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. My dear brothers and sisters, thank you for joining on such a short notice. In the next few days, obviously we'll be having webinars daily. Some will be on from ourselves as Hassan Hajj Guides, and also from the service providers. Each and every webinar will be useful. I appreciate, and we appreciate and understand that obviously attending all the webinars is difficult every day. But where possible, tune in if you can and benefit from the different sort of information. We'll try to not be repetitive. That's one thing that we would like to do, and tackle questions, because ultimately many of you have questions. And inshallah ta'ala, we have a few things going on here. First and foremost, alhamdulillah, we have the announcement officially, finally. Many of you are asking about the time of the sales opening or purchasing package for this year, Hajj 2026, inshallah, Nusuk. And that has been communicated through the official channels of being on Sunday, 1st of February, inshallah, this year, with all things going well, inshallah, and at 10 a.m. So we'll talk about that shortly, and then we'll move, and then what we want to say is that, of course, there are some of you who aren't verified yet, some of you, especially those with foreign passports, and we totally understand your frustrations and sort of how what you've been going through, and we will raise this inshallah ta'ala to the relevant authorities, inshallah, where possible, inshallah, when we see them. And it is there are people who have been verified, but it's just a matter of this year, as we know, in terms of photos, they've been quite strict, and documents, and this is why many people also haven't been verified. Now, we're going to move swiftly because we have a lot to cover, and we're going to cover a lot of answer a lot of questions. But based on the questions asked on the group, we're going to be also sort of going through some information for the purpose of brevity and keeping as short as possible. We don't want to be repetitive, but there are people, for those of you who are joining, every webinar, please exercise patience, and we appreciate your patience with us. But sometimes when you repeat something, it sits better and we understand it better. So sometimes even with how you're planning this year's Hajj, you might think, well, actually, perhaps this is not as important this year if I'm going to be intending to perform Hajj. So that's something to bear in mind. So with that, inshallah, we're going to talk about verification updates, number one. Number two, package configuration versus capacity. So that's important, and what to do now, and some details actually about what the packages entail as a form of revision and sort of clarification, because from what I've seen in the questions, there seems to be some misunderstandings in terms of what is to be expected in Hajj and what the packages entail. Even with wording, sometimes the wordings can be what we understand in the UK can be different to what is understood across the board, or how Nusuk have explained it. So that needs to be clarified, and we'll go through that inshallah ta'ala. First and foremost, brothers and sisters, in regards to verification, alhamdulillah, till now, verification is ongoing. We had in mind, we thought that the verification had at some point stopped because there wasn't much reply at some point. But then people started getting verified last week in huge numbers. And I know many people that were verified personally, and Muhtadi and the team over this last week. So for those who aren't verified, I totally understand. You have tried many times, but unfortunately, قدر الله ما شاء ما فعل. It didn't work out yet for some of you. There's a quote uh, that is mentioned a lot across the Hajj sort of across the Hajj stakeholders previously in the years before. And I would like to say that, just take this phrase into your mind that it is not over until it's over. Meaning, if the Hajj verifications is going on still, that means you still have a chance. Now, I saw some messages where people were really, really upset about it, and I appreciate that. But um, this is all a test, and we're not here to sort of justify anything. I mean, we can accept that some of it, this process is perhaps difficult, but this is all a new system, and we have to adapt to this new system. And this is the way to book Hajj moving forward, and nothing will change in that. It's about learning how to, studying how to book. And one thing that I've mentioned many times is that the demand is very, very high. You cannot remove that demand. The demand will only increase, and the government of Saudi Arabia have done an immense job in sort of increasing the infrastructure in Mecca and Medina, the trains, the roads, the Masjid al-Haram. If you've been to Umrah recently, you've seen how large the mosque is, hotels that have been built, etc., etc. So they are working towards that, and they are also, sort of training individuals within Saudi Arabia to sort of learn and how to deliver. And this is all a learning process for everyone here involved. And so what I want to say is that even today, there were people verified. Now, on that note, um, sometimes some people, what they've done is for 4 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, they applied and then they just sat and they didn't do anything to their account. What I would suggest is just resubmitting whatever documents that you've given. In terms of photo, some people said that, well, we got verified last year with one photo, so this year we'll use the same one. No, you need to, we mentioned this before, and on the groups we've been mentioning, if you have any issues with photos, send it to us to change over. And so you should still be fixing the photo so it's white background with formal attire. Okay, and that's been working. Okay, so please do so. If you haven't, contact us. Still, there's some time. Now, the next thing item that we want to talk about, and I want you to pay attention very carefully, is package configuration versus capacity. We shared some information. The service providers have shared the information about, for example, package capacity. Now, from the back end, the system allows those service providers to see what's going on in terms of people putting their package in their cart. Now, every single one of you should be putting your package into your cart. Now, some people have said, well, if it comes out of the cart like last year it did just before booking time, then should I do it now or not? Still do it, right? And put it into your cart. And we'll talk about some more things um, in terms of capacity in a moment. But I just want you to imagine each package, for example, has a certain number of spaces. Let's say one package has 160, just as an example. Now, if the number of people aiming for that package is around double or more, and they put it into their basket or their cart, say 320 people have put it into their cart, then that would mean it is just right, meaning there is a good chance to book that. Why is that the case? You'd think, well, how is that possible? I don't have a chance at all. No, that's not the case, because the reality is that not every single person will enter into the website at the same time. And we have to be very blunt and very clear with everyone here. The Hajj now, the demand is so high that I would say 1 in 3 people, right, will have a chance to go. And I don't want to be negative. I want to be honest with you. And you have to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It doesn't I cannot emphasize this more. And we mentioned this many times. There are people who didn't understand any of this. They just went online, they just logged in, and they booked it with no problems at all. But there were many people who could not enter the website. They were put into a queue and they were waiting for a long time. Okay. Or they were able to enter, or they got to the site and then they were able to put their details in, but then their OTP, and that was a big challenge last year, the one-time password did not arrive in time. Okay. I've seen in some groups people have shared and people have advised that there are some apps or browsers that, where the OTP comes faster. Research about it. Look, there are many things that, variables. The internet speed that you have, the server, the IP, some people say VPN, IP addresses, all of this technical jargon. Brothers and sisters, I'll repeat again, if it is meant for you, right, you will go. Some people, they didn't do any of those things. They didn't do anything at all. They just logged on. I recall they just came on and they just booked it and went out. The reality is, if there's hundreds of thousands of people trying to book the same packages where there's 60,000 odd so spaces, there will be people who can't enter the site or not going to be successful. May Allah make all of us successful. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. So if on this example here that we've just discussed, 160, and we say just double that, that is a good number because that means 1 in 2 people will be able to book. So that's still a higher chance than the 1 in 3 that will be able to enter the site, for example. If fewer people are on it, then that's great. But if way more people are aiming for it, like say 400, it's considered over configured. Now, even if it's over configured, don't dismiss it outright. You might have a preference. You might want a certain package that suits you. So remember, not everyone logs on at the same time when the sale starts, so there's still a chance. Okay, so anything just right or under configured is perfectly fine. Okay, perfectly fine. And keep your strategy, and we will update the tables daily and be ready to adjust and choose accordingly if needed, if needed. And those tables we are preparing and will share with you. One of them is ready, but what we're going to do is share it all together tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala, in the coming days. But for now, as we have been going, just prepare and make dua. Again, just a recap. So how do you read that? Simple guide. So fewer people. So when it's just right, it's fewer people than the package capacity. There's a very good chance. When it is over configured, then slightly more people than the package capacity. So still a good and realistic chance. When it's over configured, right? Apologies. So again, when it's under configured, apologies, then there's fewer people than the package capacity. I'll repeat again. When it's under configured, there are fewer people than the package capacity, so it's a very good chance. When it's just right, then slightly more people than the package capacity, but it's still a good chance and realistic chance. This is normal, brothers and sisters. This is absolutely normal. When it's over configured, many more people than the package capacity. Chance is lower, but it's still possible that it will still get sold, and those packages will be sold. So it's just an important reminder to everyone. Not everyone who configures a package will enter the website on booking day, brothers and sisters, and make dua that you are able to enter. And also there is another tertiary issue to take into mind. There may be, due to latency and due to high traffic, there may be a system crash or things like that. It has happened in the past in 2024 and previously. So it may be a couple of hours, maybe into the night. It may be that people will be booking, okay? And only a portion of people will actually get through, okay? So over-configured packages can still work. What you should do is keep to your strategy, keep your preferred packages as they are and follow the daily updated tables, inshallah, and be ready to calmly adjust if needed. Okay. Now, I'm going to just go a little bit back, 2 steps back, to just explain very quickly to everyone hotel accommodation proximity. Some people shared and they said that, oh, the tents in Mina have A, B, C, D. That's not the case. Okay, hotel accommodation has A, B, C, and M. Okay, Zone A is near to the Haram, where it's walkable distance, very close proximity. Zone B is around the surrounding Zone A, but a little bit of a distance. So 20 minutes walk, okay? 30 minutes walk like that, okay? And sometimes they offer pilgrim shuttle services, even when it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes walk, like Voco Hotel and so on. Zone C is a larger area, okay, which is not walking distance. So you'll have to get some form of shuttle service. And generally speaking, shuttle services are provided for any accommodation that is outside of the zone A and B. However, there are limits to the days that they can actually operate due to traffic regulations. My advice is ultimately the ones that are in zone C and zone M, the packages you will find that are cheaper. So what you can do is budget some taxi fare and ride share. You can go with some of the brothers in your group in your hotel and say, look, let's go after Zuhr, let's go after Asr and come back after Isha. And you work together, inshallah. The difference between zone C and M is that they're both away from the Haram, but this one, zone M, is close proximity to the sacred Masha'ir sites, particularly Jamarat and Mina. Okay. So if they want to, because it's mentioned on Nusuk that it provides ease of access to their accommodations during their stay in Mina, there is this assumption that from Mina, you will go every day to your hotel and come back. The reality is, you step out of the tent and it's 45 degrees. Brothers and sisters, somebody mentioned that Mina is very, very vast. Brothers and sisters, it is vast. And I'm going to be really honest with you. Apart from senior guides from who've been working for over 2-3 decades, even guides who have been working 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or even 10 years get confused in Mina. I'm talking about guides. The reality is it's so big, right? And it's overwhelming to walk from one side to another side. If somebody is lost, it can be really overwhelming, okay? The advice would be for safety, for health issues, not to move from Mina, okay? You have air conditioning inside the tents. You have all the amenities, cold drinks, ice cream, whatever, tea and coffee, shower facilities, toilets, everything. And it's improved very much in the last 2-3 years, especially since Nusuk Hajj began. And all of the tents are the same, brothers and sisters. All of the tents are the same. The same service is provided in Mu'aisim and Major al-Kabsh, right? Slight difference in the aesthetics and how in Major al-Kabsh the tents are. You have these kind of wooden fixtures on top of your sofa bed. However, Major al-Kabsh has 5,000 and Mu'aisim has 44,000 pilgrim capacity. So majority of the European and Western Hemisphere pilgrims stay in Mu'aisim, and there is absolutely no issue staying there. I would say to you comfortably that there's no issue staying there, and it is quite comfortable. Now, coming back to what I wanted to speak about is room occupancy in the hotels. A lot of people are asking about room occupancy. As Muhtadi has shown and the team have shown, when you are navigating through, if there's 3 of you and you want a quad sharing, in the quad section, you press +1, +2, +3, +4. So there's 3 of you and it's a quad sharing. In a quad, you put 1 +++ 3 times, and then you will be in a quad sharing. Another person will join you in that group. Now, if it's men and women separate, then what will happen is 2 of them, say for example, 2 women and 1 man, 2 women will be in one room and 1 man will be in another room, and they'll be separated. Okay. Now, all of this happens post-Hajj. Once the final figures come in, the service provider will work with the guides, and we will ask you for the information. the service provider and ourselves, so that we can organize everyone and allocate accordingly, inshallah. So there's no mix up with people. Now the question is, if somebody, say a family of four, right, book a quad room, would they be guaranteed a room together? That is, there is a disclaimer. We can we can recommend it and we can put it on priority, but it's not 100%. It's like 90%. So again, post booking, these kind of things will be worked on, inshallah. We have a couple of months to prepare. Main thing is now, inshallah, to secure a booking. Now, some packages don't have double room. So what do you do now? We mentioned that some packages, which ones they are. If there is an option, and in those webinars coming up with Sira and Abdul Latif, Jamil and Holiday Inn, that question will be answered on which hotels it is possible to do so with an update. That if you'd like to upgrade later on, then that it will be possible at an extra cost. It's not for free, but you need to pay the extra difference. Now, what is the difference? We cannot say right now, but we can request that and give you that information, inshallah ta'ala. So that's room occupancy. So Muhtadi, you can jump in anytime if you feel that there's something
Yeah,
that
I
you
just
want.
want to say with the room cost, if you see the quad room price and you wanted a double room, then effectively just you're buying out two beds in a quad room. So if it's say 6,000 or 8,000 reals, so that means 8,000 times four is 32,000 for the room. Two people paying their share 16, they would have to pay the other 16,000 reals to buy out that room in Mecca and likewise in Medina. So you can have a rough calculation knowing the per bed price and multiply that by two. And likewise, if it's three of you, then you're buying out one bed in a quad room to make it a triple room. Or if there's and that's how you calculate it approximately. But final figures will be given subject to final availability post booking.
Jazakumullah khairan. I think that's quite clear. So you just see how much is one bed and you just add those beds. You're buying out the extra beds. And that'll be post booking, okay? And subject to availability. But usually we haven't had any issues. It's happened, but you never know. But we have good hope, inshallah. In terms of transport, a lot of questions. Brothers and sisters, there's a couple of transports that are included within the package. Remember, every single package includes standard transport, okay, which will drop you. So you have it shows on Nusuk that it's Haramain High Speed Railway, airplane, of course, but there's no intercity airplane. That's the airplane from your gateway, from your country. You have shuttle bus, which is used either to transport you from the hotel to Masjid al-Haram, excuse me, or within the Masha'ir, the 5 days of Hajj, there'll be shuttle buses. People get on, they drop people off. It does a sort of what we call taraddudiyya in Arabic. It goes round and round, and the same bus goes round. There's about 15 of them, and they'll just go around collecting another 50 people and then drop them off, come back round, pick another 50 people, and like that to keep the traffic flow moving. And they don't allow any private cars in and around Mina, Arafat, or Muzdalifah. No cars are allowed. Okay, no taxis allowed near them. So only official buses. Private car services is mentioned there, but it's this year it's not been active. What that is for public packages, which is all of Nusuk now, where people purchase custom flights. Now, this question came up with some people. They said, well, if I get a custom flight and I arrive in the airport, and then I would like what happens to me? The general default is that you are transported in the bus service or shuttle service. So groups and groups of people will be arriving within the same, few days leading up to Hajj, and after Hajj, they'll be leaving from the hotels as well, respectively. So they will do is fill up the bus with about 20, 30 people, and then they'll send you to the hotel. Now, if you decide to take a taxi or your own private transfer, that is subject to the service provider allowing, because obviously you have to notify them, and that is something that usually it's possible, but sometimes it's not necessary because the bus is waiting and it can just take you anyway. So don't plan these details yet. See where you are arriving, see how you're arriving, and then that communication, again, that planning for that logistic, we can spend time post booking, inshallah ta'ala. So again, all of your transport is included in the general buses and shuttle buses, not in private cars. Now, one element of transport which is not included, and many people ask this question, is from Mina to Tawaf al-Ifada or Tawaf al-Ziyara and back. And I mentioned this in previous webinars, but I'd like to repeat this. That is expected by every pilgrim to walk there and come back or make their own arrangements. And remember, there's no taxis outside the tents in Mina. So what you'll have to do is walk to Jamarat, and from Jamarat, which is the stoning place where the pillars are there, and from there walk another 15 minutes to the taxi stand or get buses or whatever to your accommodation or to Masjid al-Haram. Now, on the day of Hajj, on the day of Eid, Bakr Eid, we say, or Eid al-Adha, uh, in the UK and all around the world, they will be celebrating Eid. For pilgrims, it will be the busiest day. You have the stoning on that day, you have the Qurbani to do, and we'll talk about that shortly, the Adahi. And then after that, you'll have the Tawaf ul-Ifada and Sa'i that you need to perform for your Hajj to be complete. Majority, what we call the Tahallul Awwal. We'll talk about that later, which means coming halal in the first degree or first level. We'll explain all of that. Don't be overwhelmed. But the main point is, from Mina, you must go to Makkah, perform Tawaf and Sa'i and come back. Now, in this case, we have been supporting pilgrims for many years in arranging either taxis, not in front of the tent. You'll have to walk a little bit, say 10, 15 minutes, but it's better than walking to Makkah 2 hours and doing the Tawaf another hour, and then Sa'i another hour and a half. In Hajj time, it will be very busy, a lot of walking. That day is probably expected to walk a lot, okay? And then come all the way back to Mina walking, right? So what we will do is we'll try and arrange whatever way we can, some transport where either if it's pay, you have to pay or not pay, regardless, it's not it's a very nominal amount per person, £20 or something, if it is a cost. But last few years, there's been no cost either. So again, we will do our best. And this is why, some of us guides are here to, with our experience, we're offering that. We want to help pilgrims. We're here to help pilgrims. And inshallah ta'ala, that is a big mission for Hassan Guides. And alhamdulillah, it's been successful for many years. We hope that it continues. We ask for you to make dua for that, but we'll talk about that post booking again. But just to clarify, that's not included in the package. Okay. So that element is where, inshallah, we'll be able to support you. So that's a repeat there. Now, this word all-inclusive, some people have been using this word. All-inclusive does not mean the all-inclusive when you go to holiday where you get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What it means is that you will have a system to book flights. It might be group flights or it might be custom flights, as you all know now. And every single package, you can book a custom flight, even the group flight ones. And the whole point is to offer flexibility. The Ministry of Hajj and Nusuk want to offer flexibility, brothers and sisters, right? And they want other people you saw initially in Nusuk, you saw the flags on every package. All the service providers were requested to remove those flags because what was happening is that those people from other countries were saying, where's our packages? Because everything has only British flag or American flag or Australian flag or German flag. So the whole point is every package will have capacity to book custom flights. Now, of course, group flights will be quicker, but not all of the package will be with group flights. Okay. And so that means there will be a number of people who will book custom flights. That's that's the ultimate way of booking this year. So you need to ensure that when you are doing the group flight, I want to repeat this again, for this is good advice. Even on the group flight, you select and put it into cart. Go to that same package and select custom flight and see how much it's coming to if you do a custom flight, just in case the group flight is finished on that, or is diminished or not available on that package. And that way you can still get the same package, inshallah ta'ala, and then have that cash or equivalent riyals, right, in your e-wallet and look at them not the cheapest one. Look a few levels down, maybe a little bit more on the higher prices. But remember, the group flights are generally more expensive than the custom flights, generally. But on premium dates, those of you who have no holidays, brothers and sisters, or can only go for 10 to 12 or 14 days, you have to expect in Hajj to spend more money on flights. And I've been saying this for many years. Those of you who have spoken to us on the phone to seek advice, we have said that people said, well, I have to pay, if I have to pay that, I have to pay that. And it can go up to £2,000 and even more. So be ready for that and have that in your budget. If you add the 2,000, let's just say on the ticket, and then the package price, if it goes up to say 11, 12,000, that's too much for you per person, then you need to think about the package itself. Because ultimately you want to secure your Hajj. So that's about flights, brothers and sisters. Flights, I'll repeat again, is not the price showing, the base price is not including flights. The second is accommodation is included. Catering is half board, not all inclusive. Breakfast and dinner throughout the hotels, whichever hotel you stay in. However, there has been cases in previous years where they've advertised half board and they've given full board. That can be the case, but minimum you'll get half board, which means breakfast and dinner. For those who do not know the difference, it's absolutely fine if you don't know that. And in Mina, Arafat, and Muzdalifah, the Masha'ir, the days of Hajj, the 5 days, you'll have full board, which means breakfast, lunch, and dinner, hot meals, inshallah ta'ala. There is one night in Muzdalifah where there's no food for anyone in terms of hot food, but there will be packs given to you, which is suffice. You're sleeping outside under the stars, no tents, and this is a beautiful experience of Hajj, inshallah. Transportation, I've mentioned that to you. There's Masha'ir, the days of Hajj, tour guides, that's us, inshallah ta'ala. Just to clarify for everyone, the way in which tour guides work, due to the way the system is organized now with so many variation of packages, it's not like the classic sort of pre-COVID sort of packages where we assist you throughout from travel with and bring you back all the way, uh, purely because we don't know who will book on each package. There's no guarantee. I can tell you that 75%, 70%, but I can't tell you 100%. But what will happen is there will be, and what happens is Muhtadi explained very nicely on the groups that we are working alongside other guides. And you will hear, say, for example, with Sira, there's Hisar, which is a Turkish delegation, Turkish group. Those Turkish people who are living in UK and in America and all these countries, they travel together and they want to be with their own people, which is fine. But if they're non-Turkish people going with them, that's fine as well. But sometimes in terms of the fiqh and the how the Hajj is performed, it can be a little bit different. So you would want to ideally, and you're open to going with whoever you want, of course, but you want to ideally go with people who understand your needs and sort of it suit you in terms of the mashayikh, the imams, and I'm going to touch on the imams shortly. But the tour guides, brothers and sisters, please be aware, will provide the preparatory webinars, the seminar in UK, and give you the whole lowdown of what to expect of Hajj post booking. So they'll prep you very well, inshallah, and we assure you that you will be well equipped and you will be telling us, the guides, what to do next, inshallah, to that level, inshallah. And this is one of the reasons why people want to join our guides, alhamdulillah. But again, there will be probably more this year than other years in terms of that guidance we expect. And that is because we are representing these service providers as guides, inshallah. So now, logistical support, receiving you at the airport, that will be done by the service providers in liaison with our ground support team. And so we have colleagues who will be supporting and they will be informing you. So, for example, if you came on a custom flight, what will happen is we need the information, the service provider will need the information of where and when you've booked your flight, and a copy of the ticket will be given to them, and they will then liaise with us and their team, and then prepare to you have enough time post booking to prepare for those days when each and every individual will come, and when they arrive, and you'll be informed who's at the airport, etc. And there will be a system in place, a process in place to bring you to your accommodation. Once you arrive, then together as a group at certain times, where possible, there will be guides to take you to Umrah, and in the Hajj in and of itself, there will be you will perform Hajj with the our guides. Of course, in terms of myself, I'm leading our team. There are other mashayikh, ulama, and scholars that will be joining us, inshallah. Again, it's subject to the numbers that we have. So I'll give you an example. If there's 47 people that book, then one of us will go. So each 47 people, and this is the system of nusuk, right? So we cannot go for 10 of us cannot go for 40 people. But if there's 200 people, then 4 people or 5, 6 people can go. So depending on the numbers, there will be sufficient guides going, inshallah. But we will also be liaising with those other guides from other guys working with the service providers. And sometimes it could be that they will be assisting in bringing you on a flight in the same way I will be, or Muhtadi, or the team, Mahir, Miqdad, all the team that are there, they will be assisting other pilgrims. And we work together, and then we will come together in Mecca in the accommodation, and then in the Hajj together, and we will perform the Hajj together with the Hassan guides, inshallah ta'ala, with the sort of spiritual aspect, the whole guidance, and praying together, making dua together. All of this will happen. So this is our role as tour guides, inshallah ta'ala. Visa issuance, brothers and sisters, is confirmed after you book. Okay, not straight away, not as you book, but say a month, sometimes 2 months before travel, you'll start getting emails because they have your passport, automatically will receive it, inshallah ta'ala. So moving on, you all know the Majar al-Kabsh and Mu'aisim. My recommendation is always to go for Mu'aisim because you just have a better chance. You go to Majar al-Kabsh, you configured and you go to the end and then not available. And this happened instantly last year. And then the other thing is with Majar al-Kabsh, a lot of people perform Hajj, because there's so many people vying and trying to book this. It will be like there will be small groups of people from different groups all in the same place. Where you want the guidance if you're looking for that and the group atmosphere, then Mu'aisim is very, very good, inshallah. As I said, it's very similar. I've already shared this with you before. And so literally the services are the same in Majar al-Kabsh and Mu'aisim, al-Mu'aisim. Now, in terms of wheelchair options, some people ask this question, and mobility. Again, I'll repeat and I'll be as short as possible. When it asks you for wheelchair option, just move straight. You don't need to say yes or no. Later on, you can add those things in. What they will do is the service provider will provide it in your accommodation for you, and then you have to return it later on. Now, you'll need someone to push it for you. You cannot expect someone to push you. Okay? Now, there's not much walking apart from in Hajj, except for that day of Hajj, the actual Eid day. Generally, you just get off the tent. So from your hotel, you board a coach and it takes you to your tent in Mina. From the tent again in Mina to Arafat, just walk about 5 minutes to the gates. It will take you to Arafat. So there's not much walking in that sense. Only in Umrah and arrival tawaf and what we call the arrival tawaf and sa'i, there's walking involved in Masjid al-Haram. And that's, of course, it's such a large masjid. The Safa and Marwa is very, very long. It takes an hour and a half walking. طيب, inside the Masjid al-Haram, there are volunteers and there are people working from the authorities. You just pay them 150 riyals, 200 riyals per person, 20 pound up to 40 pound per person. In Hajj, it might be a bit more, say 35. It's 20 now, but it might be up to 40 maximum for tawaf and sa'i per person, and they will push you. So you don't need to worry about these things. And our support team will also help you at the time of tawaf and sa'i to arrange that if needed. Okay, if needed. So one more question. Okay, on that day when we do go to throw the stoning, what happens? Generally, people walk. Now, if somebody cannot walk for 40 minutes, then what will happen is they can and this is not guaranteed, but we can ask some of the ground staff and some of the service providers, and whoever's out, volunteers to go around and look for these young, poor people who live around, who come and they can push and you can just pay them. You get some money, sadaqah, you have some sadaqah money, you give that in the intention of sadaqah, and they will also push the poor people. But that's not guaranteed. Another way is sort of to arrange with us to mention much earlier, and the final, and then we will see what the options are. But there's always a solution, so you don't need to worry about those things. And if last resort, if you cannot go and you're really feeling overwhelmed, maybe you're not even healthy enough to go, the imam and sheikh will, you'll take advice from them, and then one of your family members who are mobile and can walk will throw the pebbles for you on behalf of you. Okay, and that is allowed as well if that person cannot is unwell. Um, okay, so don't focus too much on the wheelchair at that point. Just move straight away to the next. We've already shared the WhatsApp of Abdul Latif and Jamil and Telegram groups. If you need those details, those who have joined new, please do scan that and join, inshaAllah ta'ala. This is for Sira Group Holding. Many of you on the Hassan Guides group are not in the Sira Group Holding or in the holiday in Bakka because you've joined late and you haven't seen the message. And I understand completely. We understand that it is overwhelming in the Telegram group to keep up with so many messages. Perhaps you're even thinking, how are we able to keep up? Alhamdulillah, Allah grant us strength and protect us all to answer every single question to the best of our ability. Please forgive us if we're not able to answer any questions. Maybe it's been missed. Then you should again directly message us, inshallah ta'ala. Okay. And now, Holiday in Bakka has a Telegram group. Now, I want to mention something. And before I move on to Q&A and before we share the, inshallah, we will hope to share the configured package. But I just want to give you an idea in general. A lot of the packages across the board, please do not feel like, oh, what's going on here? This is nothing compared to the previous years. Previous years, we've had so many issues. It's getting better every year. Brothers and sisters, it's not getting worse, it's getting better, right? There are certain demographics and regions of the world where they need to also book their Hajj. But what's going to happen is the larger populated Muslim countries who have high demand, like UK, like USA, like France, like Germany. So France has huge number, 7 million Muslims. So they will book very quickly. And what will happen is the packages will run out for others, right? So they want to cap that and give dedicated packages for those other countries. So that's why some packages have been removed. Each service provider has been asked to remove, and you'll see that across the board, there's packages that are not showing anymore. So that's the answer to your question, that why are some of the packages removed? This is a decision taken to prevent, to help others who may not get the chance. Okay. And so they've selected certain packages which were not so configured and didn't have high demand, and give those packages to those brothers and sisters who will be booking from other parts of the world, certain islands even. We have pilgrims from St. Kitts, for example. Maybe some of you never heard of these islands around the world. So just to inform you about that. And another thing to bear in mind, I'll come to the very important question, but I just want to touch on the support channels. Now, on the actual Nusuk website, if you go there, go to support channels, and there's live chat, support email, social media, and call center. Now, you can actually email us and click on that, and then it opens a box, right? Now, response time is within 24 hours. This is a general guideline. It's very busy at the moment, and generally it's been very, very busy. You have to be aware if there's 200 plus thousand, say 300,000 people, it's not easy to get through that kind of numbers. So there is a human element to this, and the demand is extremely high. Now, in terms of the call center, some of you have been calling and they're not answering. Yes, so what you do is, and then you had to wait a long time. It's just one of those things. Some of you have emailed and just waiting for the email. You have to be a bit more persistent, a bit more, show some urgency and try. Don't give up. I know it's difficult. I know you're going through this difficult and you're thinking, well, when is this how am I going to get through? Is it going to happen for me? Don't lose hope. Have good, positive thoughts and give it your best shot. This is all a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are people who, subhanAllah, they submitted a driving license and they, for proof of residence, they got through. And yes, I appreciate it's not exactly uniform in terms of the answers, some what has been accepted, and that's something that we can raise, inshallah ta'ala. Deen wa nasiha. The deen is part of, what we can do is advise, and we can tell others and say, tell the respected, or the authorities accordingly and say, look, this is an issue we need to solve. We need to work on this. It needs to be improved. And they are improving, I must say, and from our experience. So, we've been working since the beginning of Nusr. Okay. So please do bear patience and know it's difficult. And as I said, if you have submitted something, just resubmit it again. And that's worked with some people. If you are unable to delink, right? Sorry, unable to edit a profile photo, okay, or upload something because as a family member, okay, then you can and you're struggling. What you do is you delink, and if it doesn't allow you to delink, then some people have deleted the profile and then started again, and it's worked. Okay, even yesterday and today. So it's your decision, it's your call. We can't take that risk, but it's worked. And we're saying we've seen many people who just resubmit and it's worked for them. Okay. But if your photo is an issue and you haven't fixed it, then definitely that is an issue. You need to check with us, that your photo is okay. We discussed this earlier. So based on all of this, you need to think your most important thing is your flight, right? Dates and your budget, inshallah ta'ala. I'm not going to go through the rest, but you have one thing I want to assure you is that you have experience with you. You have experienced guides, and hence you can see that, alhamdulillah, by the will of Allah and by the grace of Allah, we have been selected to speak on behalf of service providers and to support pilgrims across the board. Okay, and this is something that Allah has blessed us with, and we are just trying to help pilgrims. Okay, help the service providers deliver Hajj together in liaison and in collaboration with them as guides, inshallah ta'ala. So it's a very big honor and it's a privilege. And so one thing I want to say is that you rest assured you're with experienced guides. And that's something that many people I know need to be aware that experience is something that is very difficult to find. And, it's very difficult to speak about oneself, as I mentioned before. But inshallah ta'ala, if you book, then we will plan, we will prepare, we will work towards a beautiful, successful Hajj, inshallah ta'ala, together with the service providers. So the advice now is on booking day. Remember, on Saturday, we're going to have a webinar on behalf of Hassan Guides. Brothers and sisters, on Saturday, we'll have a webinar, final one, just a few strategies to mention, how to be on for the 10 a.m. inshallah timing that has been given. So one thing I want to remind you all is do not panic. Be calm and stay focused, right? Put your trust in Allah. You did your best. Okay, you topped up your e-wallet accordingly with extra money as well. And another question some people asked about some money that, there was a time last week, I think, where the e-wallet was being updated and some people sent money and their money is not showing. That money is not lost. You just need to follow it up, do a trace with your banks, and eventually you should get it back, inshallah. It will be sent back to you. But if you might not want to wait now. If need be, you need to arrange more money to top up accordingly to be ready for Sunday. So you should be topped up and ready to go on Saturday. Today is what? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Working days are tomorrow and the day after. You want to ensure that you're topped up well and ready. Don't leave it till Saturday, Sunday. Maybe the banks will have issues, and get that sorted. Prioritize packages that fit your dates and budget. Whether it's economy or premium, you can adjust hotels later if the provider allows. Please understand that there is a high demand for luxury packages across the board in Nusuk. Okay, and it is so therefore this year it may be it's just this is the situation this year. Previous years it wasn't the case. There is a percentage set for each type of package for whatever reason, and it is all for the best of the pilgrims. I can't go into details about that, but for the future pilgrims, it will be good, inshallah. What I would like to say to you, brothers and sisters, is that you need to think, I want to perform Hajj right now. I've made that intention. I've taken holiday. I've taken leave. I've saved the money. I've made that intention. Ultimately, the 5 days of Hajj is in Mina, Arafat, and Muzdalifah. Okay, and so you want to think that, look, I want to perform the Hajj in comfort. I want to perform the Hajj with full guidance. I want to perform it according to the Quran and the Sunnah. I want to perform it with the advice of the scholars and with reminders that will keep me charged, spiritually charged, and nourished throughout my journey. That's my focus, and I want to be healthy, and I want to be in good, follow the right advice to stay healthy, and I'm performing Hajj in an optimum way with siha and afia, with good health and well-being. So that's important because many people go to Hajj and they fall unwell. We have health tips and things like that, um, key important information. You can refer to some of the Hassan Travel Hajj 2025 health advice as well, inshallah ta'ala. Anyway, we will run many informative webinars, but the main thing now is to get a successful booking, inshallah. So before booking, the key advice is obviously we're going to repeat and again see you on Saturday night before, and we'll make a dua that, Ya Allah, accept my intention, and you should be making dua consistently. Yes, you're making your effort. That's tying the camel and doing what you can, but also keep making dua that, Ya Allah, accept me. Stand in tahajjud and make dua in qiyam. Even those who are not verified, Ya Allah, accept it. If it is not meant to be, Allah is choosing that for you, and you're not ready. Perhaps it's not the right time for you. Okay. But before booking, log in early and be prepared for a queue system. A lot of you are understanding that you'll just get in. There will be a queue. Some people will get in. Some people will be put onto a queue. Some people will get in and then they'll put their details and then the OTP will not come. Or it will come, but it's again like it times out or the system will crash. We don't know. Every year is different. You can't go by the previous year all the time. Okay. Now, once you get in, act calmly, move through the package choices one by one, right? How to prefer a package, okay, it's to put a heart on it, as I said. And when you go to the dashboard, you'll be able to see it. Refer to our previous webinar, and I've shared it on the group after 1 hour, 20 minutes on webinar 5 on our Hassan Travel playlist for Hajj 2026. Again, webinar 5, refer to that. I highly advise you go through webinar 5 and 6 again if you have not watched it. And then what you will do is, of course, you'll get the detailed, of course, guidance on Saturday evening early. So we were going to have it early so we don't have a late night. And stay steady. And remember, it's about securing a package, and you'll adjust as needed, inshallah ta'ala, in regards to the lists that we will send you, inshallah ta'ala, with the configured packages. I would like to also mention that this year with Sira, mashallah, has been a high demand. With some packages, there's under configured or just about right. Those packages will be shared to you that are under configured or just about right and you can go for those tomorrow, first thing, inshallah. And then those ones in holiday in Becca majority are just about right or under configured and not over configured. So they are available. If you think, oh, well, you know what, I'm going to book, I just want to go to do my Hajj. I know there's 12 nights packages for the short ones on that one with attached flights with the Holiday Inn Becca hotel. And then just go for that, and then if need be, then whilst out there, if you want to say, for example, you want to upgrade your room, or you want to even I'm not going to say this outright, but there are people who have booked very basic packages. You might want to strategize and say, I'm going to book a very basic package, and then I'm going to look at other hotels later on if it is available, and it has been available, and people move next to the haram. So they book something on Sirah, for example, value, and then they go next to the haram for 3, 4 days. And you can even, just request from the service provider, get the permission, or we inform them. And as long as you are known where you are, because the pilgrim service provider needs to know where you are for your safety and security, if that information is shared, then you are able to shift to another better hotel next to the haram. So that could be another strategy. So because it's under configured package, so you secure your Hajj, your flight, your package, and then do that. But this is again strategy about strategy. Okay, remember those packages that are very high luxury packages are in extremely high demand this year. Okay, so this is something to bear in mind. Okay, and that's it. We'll go to questions. This I've already shared previously. Okay, and I'm going to go to questions, inshallah, straight away. And Muhtadi's been answering. If there's anything that needs to be answered, please do help. Maybe show them. I've saw regarding preferred packages. I have heart packages, but it's not coming up on my preferred package list. I have also starred the package we want. All packages I've hearted come up in my packages, but there's no priority order. I'm not sure about the answer of that. But I'll pass it on to Muhtadi. I've spoken. I've tried to keep as short as possible, just covering pretty much the whole Hajj, and I hope it has been clear for you. If there are any questions, then no problem at all.
Okay, assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you all for joining. With regards to the question about the preferred packages, it won't be in any priority, but I'll just try and quickly show. If you can let me share my screen. So you click on your name, then come to my package, and then when you scroll down here under preferred packages, should be up to 5 packages that you have saved on your preferences. And if you want to take it off, you remove the preference and add it. It's just ticking the heart either from here or from the package section where you filter with the service provider. See, the website is a bit slower now. So this is the button if you want to prefer it or remove the preference. So that's how you do that one. With regards to how early should you log into the website, it varies. Some people have done it from an hour before, 45 minutes before, 5 minutes before, but we would say at least half an hour or so beforehand, or even 45 minutes beforehand. Be ready with your setup, have your internet, have your computer set up and everything, and be comfortable in front of your devices, and maybe just browsing the website and then being logged in. Now, every year we've noticed right on the time that it launches, there's a little blip on the system and then it goes live and buttons appear. Sometimes it chucks you out, sometimes it lets you check out straight away. So there's different ways that it happens, and I can't tell you a right or wrong answer, but you need to be ready and be on the homepage at least. And we always advise have maybe a multiple browser. So basically you've got Safari or Firefox, Chrome, Edge, and have the homepage open on all of them, but log in one at a time. So you don't want to mix or confuse the session by having 2, 3 sessions open. Or if you are, then don't touch the second device. Just work from one for the time being. Let that configure and let that check out. If that crashes, then you can go to the second one. But don't move your mouse or play around with the settings at the same time, because it will be confused on the session and potentially chuck you out. So somebody's asking if there's a package we don't like but couldn't secure other packages, would we be able to change hotels later? This is something that we've been trying to coach into people that look, everybody's going for the luxury and premium packages, but they're less than 50% in terms of the availability on Nusuk, and more than 50 or 55% will be the standard packages for this year. So you may want to consider having your standard package as your backup, or maybe end up booking that. And if you do one of the, for example, Abdul Latif Jamil packages, where you've got the Lamar Ajad, for example, or one of the other hotels like the 301 or 303, then you could potentially book that, and then with the service provider upgrade and try and buy a room from them in the Anjum or so on post Hajj to have your accommodation near the Haram. So there's ways that we can work with the service provider, similarly with Sierra and similarly with Holiday in Becca as well. So it's not the end of the world if you ended up having a package that's further away. You can do the tahseen or the upgrade through us and the service provider that we will work on your behalf to do that. But the main thing that we want to emphasize is that you ask yourself, if it's a package thing and you don't want to buy it and you want to wait till next year, then that's a decision only you can answer. But we would recommend try and secure your place and complete the Hajj because you don't know what will come in the future in terms of changes and your own circumstances. The quota for the UK this year is around 7,000 visas, and there'll be probably 15 to 20,000 people registered or even more fighting for this sort of allocation. So it's a first come, first serve. So you need to be very quick on the system. Somebody asked, they heard luxury package is only 15%. If they choose a premium double room, what are my chances? I just want to do Hajj, so shall I go with a double or quadruple room? I don't mind. So premium is pretty much close to luxury. The difference is maybe the Medina hotel is 4 star, so that's why it's not in the luxury category. Some luxury packages, actually, their 5 star hotel isn't as good as a 4 star package in the premium category. So you have to understand these nuances and also see that the packages were made to successfully or to satisfy the ministry's requirements with each service provider. So ultimately, if you're looking for a double room and you're not finding it, then again, you ask yourself, am I willing to wait another year or shall I just go for a quadruple room or a quad room, book my package, potentially see what the cost of an upgrade and availability is with the service provider, or even just halas, accept it and perform the Hajj. My advice would always be keep an open mind, be ready to book, and inshallah, just secure the package and perform your
Can
Hajj
I
this
just
year.
add as well, like if it says double room and it's showing availability, then that means you should be able to book it, right?
Yes.
And if it doesn't book, if it says the room capacity is finished, then you need to go for a quad. So again, you will see different errors. So one could be the flight, group flight has finished, or one could be even the quota of we don't want to see that. Unfortunately, this is the worst thing if the visa quota from UK is finished, then that will mean, brothers and sisters, you cannot book anymore. That's it. Okay. And the only way that you can is we've had people in the past, last year included, people just logged on at a random time and they just saw a package and they booked it. Packages will show up here and there post this phase. We don't know how many phases there will be. It may be that everything gets booked in one go over a period of the whole of Sunday, 1st of February. It may be the case that there will be some later on, and that will be something called, I can't explain it, but another set allocated visas that with for another phase. And then that will be communicated accordingly. But we cannot say for sure, so there's no point in delving into that. We want to try in the first round. So as soon as you see that, okay, what is the error? Oh, for example, brother asked about the camp in Muaisim that they want to book the Majar al-Kabsh is called, right? If it's not available, would you get a refund? No, it will be if it's available and if you've booked it, you'll get it. If it's not available, it will say the package capacity has been reached. You need to book another Muaisim. So you go back and you reconfigure with the Muaisim and you book that. Okay. Um, very good question. Qurbani and Adahi. I didn't mention this, and I was supposed to speak about this, brothers and sisters. So Qurbani is, we call it Qurbani. In Arabic, we call it the Hadi and Adahi. So basically, that's the sacrifice, and that's why it's known as the Eid al-Adha, the Eid of where there is the slaughter of the animals and the sacrifice. The sacrificial animals are given by the pilgrims. That's why we remember those who don't perform Hajj, that the pilgrims are making that sacrificial slaughter as a form of thanksgiving and purification to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the Hajj and to come out of Ihram. And so there are three options. Number one is to book through the government portal, which is adahi.org or something like this, where they're a sub-government entity. And that option is showing. Some people said they haven't seen that, but if you reconfigure, it will show again. And I think it's around 705 or 707 reals, something like this. And that is a good price. What is how do they undertake that? There will be the company will then, when you received email about that, the company will then perform the sacrifice, the dhabh, or the slaughter on the day of Hajj, the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, the day of Eid for the Muslims around the world, on behalf of you. There is a message that you receive an email confirming that it has been done. But again, if there are millions of people who use this service, for those people who don't want to risk not receiving email, not knowing about it, because it's so many people, it's not possible to do everyone at the same time. What some people do in previous years, and this has been the case for since the beginning of Hajj, people used to take their own sacrificial animals with them to Hajj. Now, in this case, you don't need to take it, but there are farms in around Mecca where people arrange the Qurbani and the Hadi. And what happens is those who would like to confirm and actually what happens is in previous years we've visited and saw the animals themselves and then purchased them through some of our ground support team. They will see the animals, they will purchase it on behalf of you, they'll do it according to your name for those people who want it to be done. Of course, everything is based on the niyyah and intention, but according to the Hanafi madhab, some people would like to do it in order, in tartib, which means to throw the stone first and then do the qurbani and then come out of ihram. To do it in order, you'd need to have the information that it started now, post throwing the stones. So that instruction would be given to those fulfilling it on behalf of the farmers, and they will then do it on behalf of the company in Mecca. And then once it's done, then there will be a message sent and there will be a confirmation that this has been done. So this is outside of nusuk. It is totally up to you to which one you want to do. Some people don't want the hassle and they just want to pay for it and they want to they don't want to worry about the cash and paying for it. That's fine. But others will say, well, I don't mind. I'd like to ensure that it's done in this way, in this order. So then that's also possible. How that is paid and all of that, that's post-booking. It's not now. And there's plenty of that time to plan for that. So you don't need to worry. If you don't end up booking the Adahi, you can still get it done. Every person will get their sacrificial slaughter done on behalf of them to complete their Hajj, and that support will be provided, inshallah, through the service providers and ourselves, inshallah. So nothing to worry about. There's another option where you can go yourself. The Mu'aysim actually camps actually are near the slaughterhouse. So you can actually go yourself to the slaughterhouse and purchase a coupon, and then they'll do it for you there and then. But it is quite exhausting and difficult, and it's not advisable for pilgrims to do it in the case where we have 1.6 million people, and out of that, say, a few 100,000 people will try to do it in that way. So it may be just easier to just arrange it through the Adahi, through the Nusuk, or through our sort of guides that will advise accordingly prior to Hajj, inshallah. So this is the answer about the Adahi. Okay. We don't know about the further visas or packages to be released yet. If it doesn't all get sold, or if there's a massive technical error, this may be a possibility. There will be a technical error. Expect it. If it doesn't happen, you have to still be ready from now. So then they will then say that, okay, they will make an announcement that, for example, in previous years, they have mentioned that, okay, sales have stopped now temporarily. We will resume and we will announce in time. We'll give you enough time to prepare again. And then they tried a few days later 4 or 5 days later. And then so that's another thing to bear in mind. And I appreciate that some of you are taking time off work to do all of this, but this is part and parcel of and the process of booking Hajj currently. And there's no other way to book. Okay. So you have to bear that patience, and this is part of the Hajj, the sacrifice that we need to make. Isn't configuring flights more risky than the group flights? You can say, but it's not 100% because remember, not all of the packages are from UK or from any country are all group flights. So there's going to be a large number of people booking through custom flights. So yeah, effectively, you can still book it. It's not like the visas will run out. Okay. One thing about configuring flights, if you configure the flight on custom flights to now, expect to say 24 hours before, the night before, you want to configure again. And that's part of the advice that we'll give on this Saturday coming when we have our final webinar before the booking day. So you would want to ensure that you do that. The strategy of booking custom flights is go in again one day before and put it into your cart earlier so that you know the rough price, and then if you need to top up, you can top up because of the demand of people booking. Now, don't go for the lowest price as well, just because you found that. Yes, if you get that, that's a bonus. Then you can always withdraw the money. Okay, so you will put in a little bit extra and look at the flights that are a bit more expensive and say, look, it's Hajj now. Hajj flights are average £2,000 or 1,700, £1,600, and this was the case in 2019, direct flight on Saudi Airlines, when we arranged it, it was around £1,800 then in 2019. It is not the choice of anyone to make it that expensive. If you expect that if you travel in December or for example, I'm from Bangladesh. If I want to go to Bangladesh in December, I couldn't afford it because it was £1,400, right? And £1,200. People pay it because the demand is there. People want to travel in that time. So it's just a busy period. Same way in Christmas, same way in Easter, same way, for example, in summer when you want to travel on holiday. So you have to, this is part of the Hajj where you have to pay a premium for those dates, especially if you're going for 10 to 12 days. Okay. If you're going for shorter period, you'll notice if you go for the 22-day package, 20-day package, and on that note, if you're performing Hajj and you think, you know what, I'm going to Hajj, and I've mentioned this before to some brothers and sisters, that look, I'm doing this once in a lifetime. I want to perform the Hajj. It's once in a lifetime chance, maybe two, three. Some people go 2, 3 times in their lifetime. So then, you know what? If I'm leaving family and I'm going, but if I'm in the best place on the face of this earth and I'm in Mecca and Medina, let me stay longer. Let me book the longer one because there's less configurations and it's cheaper. You'll find that it's cheaper if you book flights that are much earlier and coming later. Okay, God forbid. Now you've left family home, you want to come back early. That's another possibility. You can purchase a single flight, a single ticket, and come back early. That's happened on many occasions, not because of emergency. Some people said, "Well, I need to get back now. I've completed my Hajj." That's an option as well, as long as you inform the service provider and us, so we can liaise and arrange that so that everyone's informed. So this is yeah, so that's that. Other than that, I'm not seeing. Okay. Is there anything that needs to be repeated for the purposes of the group? Because you've answered 91 questions. Allahu Akbar. MashaAllah. Any flight that is group flight, it will not increase in price. Some of the Abdul Latif Jameel packages that have been removed will come back for sure, and these ones will be a better price than the group flights, and it will be cheaper. That's why it's been offline, but it will be back today or tomorrow. It's been approved by the ministry. But on the custom flights, it may vary. So just because you put it in even 24 hours before, it may increase. When you configure a trolley and it's in your cart, on the time of booking, Muhtadi showed how to do so in webinar 5 and 6 twice. Have a look at that. There will be a button, the configure package. Next to it, there will be something called purchase package. And that was the button last year. Okay, so you just go straight to the cart and purchase package. Okay, it's just literally 2 clicks. But then before you click, you will see the whole breakdown of the dates and everything. That's something important to check one more time. Don't be too rushed. Once you're in and because ultimately getting into the website is the difficulty once you're in, but don't spend too long as well. So work very calmly and keep practicing in the next few days. Now, is the coach a default travel option between Medina and Mecca? And if so, can we take a train? Okay, generally, yes, it's default. And some packages, I think this year, a lot of service providers are promising train. I want to be very honest and say to you that, look, there's only a certain number of train seats and there's only a certain number of trains that travel. There was a plan to have extra services last year that didn't transpire. All of our pilgrims who were promised a train got their train. It was hard work from our end, but the pilgrims were not aware of this. So we will endeavor to ensure that if it is included, we will work with the service providers to ensure that happens. However, let's just say your package, right? A lot of packages in Sira doesn't have it. And the reason why they don't do that, it's a very professional company, and I cannot re-emphasize that anymore. They don't want to take on that risk where they're not able to provide it in the end. So that's why they would say subject to availability, where the package is promising that. And that's an honest answer. And I like honesty. But what usually happens is even there are people who went by coach last year, were supposed to get on the coach and they informed us and they privately booked their own train and they informed us and they went by train. And that's something that you can do. But again, that's post-booking. You can do those things post-booking. We want to secure the booking. That's important. How would you go about organizing Medina after the Hajj days? Book any package for now and organize that with yourselves. I don't know what you're asking here. Every package in Nusuk goes to Medina for 3 nights minimum. So if I've understood anything wrong, Muhtadi, can you just answer that?
It was someone who wanted to maybe edit their program, and so we said subject to service provider, potentially if you don't want to stay in Mecca and want to go to Medina. But it gets a bit messy. It's very, very rare cases, and potentially we can work on, for example, you took a longer stay, you don't want to stay 22 days, you want to just go Medina for a day and then fly back to UK. That we can do subject to permission and availability from service provider.
But they're very, it's all subject to informing us and
Yeah, yeah,
give.
we will work with that, but don't count on that, but have it as a backup.
So anything that's on custom flight, right? If you configured it, so if you configured it before the first, on the day you'll have to research that flight. Yes, you will. Okay. But if it's a group flight, you won't have to. Okay. A lot of the packages on holiday in Bakka have flights with it, but don't change your look. There is a preference that you have. Stay with that preference and put your trust in Allah and try. If you feel that no, I don't mind actually. I just want to do the Hajj, then that's fine. You can just do the holiday in Bakka package. That's fine as well. And the other ones have as well. Those that have flights, even with group flights, those that have group flights, you have to be aware even those group flights are limited and in every service provider, and there's a high demand with certain service providers. You might want to strategize and think, okay, which ones are not so busy and do it accordingly. That's something you have to make a decision. But ultimately, personally, if I was giving advice to a friend, I would say, look at the guides. That's really important. So study about the guides on any particular package, because I myself had to serve over a few hundred people last year who came and they were on the same package as me and you, right? We booked a package. They contacted Hassan Guides. They registered with us. We were then assigned to them and we guided them. But in the same package, you'll find people who don't know anything about any guides and they just went online and booked. What will happen is you may fall alone and you may have to do everything yourself. If you do not know when to move to Medina, what time the bus will come, what time, there will be WhatsApp groups informing you throughout, and that's something. Communication during Hajj is one thing that we focus on more than anything. So you can relax, you can focus on your worship, you can focus on doing what you need to do. You know that your luggage has to be out your room at this time. That's it. You don't need to worry about contacting and going to see the service provider team and following up about your passport, about your ID cards. You'll need a Hajj ID card, you'll need a bracelet to go to Mina. All of this will be communicated to you, so you don't have to worry about those things. And that's the that's where that peace of mind is there. Um, no, HSR Gold Plus is for us as well. Please be aware. And again, so you can. It's not for US market. It's also for anyone from Hassan as well. So we will be supporting that. It was so nothing to worry about, inshallah ta'ala. Anything else? Okay, if you're being asked to top up and it's asking for middle name, which you don't have, you put your first name again or NA, either one of the two. Okay, so you put your first name or NA, N/A, not applicable. Okay, and it should go through. No one's had any issues since then about this. Okay. So just put your first name again if in that middle name. Okay. If the Qurbani is only for Hajis, or can you do Qurbani for people back home? Brothers and sisters, Qurbani that we have, that we do every year for those not going to Hajj, and for the Hanafis is wajib, we do that. We'll talk about whether you should do it or not, and if you're going to Hajj, etc. But that's for another day. That's post booking. But the ones that you perform, excuse me, in Hajj, brothers and sisters, for the Hajj, as part of your Hajj ritual, is not done back at home. You have to do it in Mecca, feeding the poor people of Mecca. This is how it's done. Okay, so that's the answer. So that's why you can't do it back home, and you have to do it in. So the general one that you do back home, you can do, but for Hajj, you must do that one for your Hajj. Brother Nazneen, or is it sister? Sorry, I'm so sorry. Do you want to speak? No problem. Just hold on a minute. I'll just allow you to speak. We're going to close in a few minutes. Well, thank you for staying, everyone. Yes, go ahead. Hello?
Oh, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Can you
Walaikum
hear me?
salam. Yes, go ahead.
Mm. Yes, I'm from California, USA.
How are
My,
you? Ahlan
I'm
wa
fine,
sahlan.
thank you. I just changed my what do you call the group? I was with another group, but just now I joined with you guys.
Ahlan
Alhamdulillah.
wa sahlan.
Yeah. So my question is, when we are leaving for Hajj,
Sorry?
when we are leaving for Hajj, what date or what day?
You mean for the 5 days of Hajj?
No, not like your group. When is it
There's different packages. We can share that. It's on the group. If you've joined our Telegram group, we can share with you any of the packages that you join. Depending on the package that you choose, you will be traveling. So you need
uh,
to book a package, and then it will have the ticket details, depending on what your dates are and the budget and how much you're spending. And if everything is okay, you can book.
yes, it's a luxury, I believe 103. I
Yes.
choose it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. We will be able to guide
And
you on
the
that.
thing is, me and my nephew are going. Actually, I talked to Hassan about that, and I am verified, and he hasn't yet. So
What is the issue
about
with the verification?
verification,
Yeah,
yes.
but
And
what is
then
the is it that it's been rejected or it's just not been verified?
it's not rejected. It's like some issues. Actually, Brother Hassan, he
Yeah,
fixed it like this morning.
that's
So I
fine.
don't. So is it too late for that? I'm so worried. And
Look, sister, today people got verified. Today I know people. Yesterday I some of our team fixed pictures or sorted something and people got verified. There are people I know that have been waiting for weeks on end. They haven't been verified. But at the same time, there's some people submitted today. So just you've submitted today, wait till tomorrow and see what happens, inshallah. And
and
make
I
dua.
put some. I'm doing make dua, and your group is like a London group, like England group. So I don't know. Maybe I have to buy a custom flight. The
Yes.
package I choose, it says 103, only 20 people. I found out only 20 seats available. So
Are you
uh,
talking about Abdul Latif Jameel, yeah?
yes, yes,
Yeah,
Abdul
so there
Latif
are
Jamal,
flights from US. You can join on those group flights from Abdul Latif
103
Jameel. Yeah, and that's fine, and you will join with us in Mecca.
in Mecca. Yes. Thank you so much. And then I put some money in e-wallet, like a, I believe, I'm just saying like a US dollar, like a 14,000. I think a little bit more, $14,000. Do I have to put more money for the custom flights, or I don't know, I'm gonna get the regular flights or not. It's depend on that day if I get
Mhm.
it or not.
If you
So,
get verified, then you will, inshallah ta'ala, book it, inshallah.
oh, okay. So that they okay. Hopefully, he verified soon, and then
Inshallah.
inshallah, I'll talk to you and ask you more question maybe in
No
future.
problem. You
Thank
have our
you.
numbers. You can contact or the Telegram. You can call us directly, inshallah. Ahlan wa
Yes,
sahlan.
thank you. Thank you,
May Allah
sir. Thank you
accept your
so much.
attention. No problem.
Sure, pray for us. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. طيب, there are some other questions. Quickly, I'll cover and then we'll close. Do all packages in all three PDFs have a guide? So again, I'll repeat, brothers and sisters, the way in which the guides work now is changing every year. We will guide you before Hajj, prepare you for Hajj. We will give you the guidance of how to perform Hajj, what are the masla masail, which is what is allowed, what is not allowed, all of these things, travel advice, health advice, what to take with you, a guidebook will be given to you that's we have prepared particularly for our pilgrims that join us, our guides. All of this material will be given. Okay. And then when you will travel from your different destinations, some of those people will have guides with them traveling. Others will go and meet in Mecca in their respective hotels. Then they will perform the Hajj with us together, inshallah. We will be stationed in the camps in Mina together, inshallah. The team and the sheikhs from Hassan Travel. Actually, my father will be leading one group and by the way, we have sisters as well. For the sisters, a good support with scholars that are sisters, for the sisters in particular, and they will be providing support for the sisters. Again, we will have other mashayikh joining, inshallah ta'ala, according to the number of people. So there will be definitely guides in the Hajj together, and the ground support team and the service providers will be supporting throughout your accommodations, and our team will be with you in those respective hotels, but not exactly staying with you in the same room, but we'll be available to support you. And there will be, for example, preparatory sort of talks throughout, um, either online or it be in physical. Both will be there, inshallah ta'ala. Where possible, we will fit in as much as possible, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. So yes, there will be guides for all of the three, inshallah. I heard WhatsApp doesn't work in Saudi Arabia. How will you communicate? Brothers and sisters, WhatsApp messages work. WhatsApp call doesn't work. If you get an eSIM, WhatsApp call works. If you get a Saudi SIM, then WhatsApp call doesn't work. So this is a security issue in Saudi Arabia. What you can do is call on Telegram. So Telegram call still works. So if you need to contact anyone, if you purchase a SIM there, and all these details will be communicated to you, and there will be a way of communicating to all of us. I think these things will be discussed post-booking, not now. Okay. Is HSR Platinum under Hassan? You can book that and then you inform the Hajj service provider that you'd be like to be under Hassan. Inshallah, we will be together performing Hajj together in Mina, Arafat, and Muzdalifah. So where would you share the latest supported packages information? On our Telegram group, Hassan Guides 2026, and on the service provider groups. If you haven't joined them, join them as well. Okay. And the links are mawjood and present on the announcement section of Telegram. I know Telegram is a bit complicated for you and you see so many messages and it's hard, it's overwhelming, but it's for your security, brothers and sisters. People are taking brothers and sisters numbers. Unfortunately, in every sector of you'll find fraudsters join. Unfortunately, they look for an opportunity. They'll take your number on WhatsApp, then they'll contact you and tell you we are from Hassan Guides or we're from Sira. This happens. And so we don't want any of your data to be compromised and we don't want any security issues. Hence, we use Telegram. Post booking, once you've booked, we're only going to add the people that have booked into those groups and then onto WhatsApp. Then it's a bit more easier. Okay, then you can receive messages, voice notes, etc. You can send, etc. But to call, you need to get a SIM when you're there, and then we can communicate the process of that, inshallah ta'ala. So HS Gold Plus package is also for UK. It's a direct copy of Elite Plus. So if you see Elite Plus, you can go online and look at HS Gold Plus package. It is for UK. If it allows you to book from UK any package on Sira, Holiday Inn, and Abdul Latif, then you can book that as well, no problem. But go for the ones with the group flights. If it doesn't have and you'd want a particular hotel, then you go for the custom flights. Yes, you can use your phone to confirm booking on Nusuk. Actually, some people were trying on their laptops and devices, nice laptop, fast, powerful laptop, iPads, and so on. And then in the end, they managed to book on their phone. So it can happen. When the booking happens, on Saturday, we'll give you that instruction because it's not important right now. Saturday evening, make sure you attend. When you click book or purchase package, the whole screen will freeze and it will maybe for 3 to 4 minutes freeze. It will just stay stagnant. So you need to be patient then. Don't click anything, don't do anything, just wait. And suddenly you'll see that it may even say failed, but you'll receive an email confirmation. Okay, this is expected. So please be aware of that. So you can use mobile. Does the 2.65% refund fee apply to your booking if your booking is not accepted? Yes, it does. This has been said from the beginning that any money that you've put into your account, that 2.65 is actually 2.3%. It says inclusive of VAT. However, I would like to I'd like you to double check this because last year it was 15% on top of that VAT on that amount that is being refunded. So it becomes 2.65%. So it does apply. And the full refund, what that means is still when you get the refund, there will be that, as far as I know, because this is a charge from the banks in Saudi and your respective countries. So Visa, MasterCard, card processing, cross-border from country to country issue. So it's not Nusuk itself, but there is a 15% VAT on that. Again, even if within 72 hours, if you decide to cancel, you have to, after booking, then you have to apply for a refund. Otherwise, a large chunk of that will be gone. This is Hajj. Things are planned very early. The flights, the hotels have been paid for upfront. So, when you make that decision, Bismillah, go for it, inshallah. And inshallah, nothing happens with your situation that you have to refund. I'm funding my husband's Hajj. Do I pay for his Qurbani or can he pay for himself? Either way, it doesn't matter. Both can work. Okay. We're going to finish. Okay. I'm traveling with my wife. At which point do you Hajj? Okay. I'm traveling with my wife, at which point during Hajj process we'll be separated when we'll be together. Generally, if you're in a hotel, you will be able to see your spouse in the common areas, in the public areas, in the restaurant, in the reception. If you're separately staying. In Hajj, you will be separate completely from the ladies, but you can phone them or message them and say, come out and meet in front of the gate. And there's walkways and areas. In fact, last year, there was a special area arranged for couples within the tents with your refrigerators, tea and coffee, subhanAllah. I am not going to confirm that that's going to happen, but this was what we had last year. So you'll be able to meet them and always have access and be able to reach them, inshallah ta'ala. أهلا وسهلا من مكة المكرمة.
أهلا وسهلا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
We're just doing the
Sorry.
final bits of our questions. Brother Mishka and brother, thank you so much for your tireless support. No question. No, we're doing round the clock. We're trying our best to answer to the best possible manner. And please be aware, brothers and sisters, some of you are asking questions regarding holiday in Bakka in the Sira group or the Sira group you're asking about Abdul Latif. Please maintain decorum and please understand that there are other people involved. There's so many stakeholders. Here I can freely speak. We can talk about everyone and say that everyone is doing a fantastic job and we're collaborating with good people that we trust. And inshallah ta'ala, everyone is working to deliver a beautiful Hajj, inshallah. You don't need to worry. You can see from the efforts from all of the team. By the way, there are people that are, there are people that are working that you don't know yet. And you will know them. And those who have performed Hajj with us, if you've heard from the reviews or anyone that's been with us before, if you came through recommendation, the team are quite large and they're working in the behind the scenes, and each and every individual has a different sort of character and different sort of person that you will be. We become a Hajj family, and that's our motto. For the rest of our lives, we'll be in contact post Hajj, inshallah ta'ala. So may Allah accept it from everyone. And it is very, very big amana and a trust that we take on. It is not something that we take very lightly. And Allah has blessed me so much. Wallahi, if I go down to shukr, sajda to shukr, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, 24 hours a day is still not sufficient. May Allah, it's I can't describe how I feel when I'm doing this. This is an opportunity to serve the wufud and the guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So from a tender, very young age of 13 till today, alhamdulillah, I've been able to perform Hajj every single year, serving pilgrims. And this is bifadlillahi azza wa jal. May Allah grant me the ability and the health to continue with our teams, with my father, hafidhahullah, may Allah protect and preserve him, and my mother and my sisters. We're actually a family-based Hajj guides, and we work as a family, and we will work towards, everyone will put a sweat, all their sweat and effort towards every pilgrim, inshallah ta'ala. So really, it's really hard to describe, but for those of you who know me, you know that I put a lot of effort towards this, and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it from every one of us, including our brother Ghazi, who doesn't sleep at all. I don't know when he does sleep. 24 hours a day he's working with all the service providers in their offices, speaking to them, liaising with them, helping other pilgrims from USA, from other countries. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. His the ground support team that we have, the support that we have in terms of, it's a privilege to work as guides. That's how we look at it, and amana and a trust. So may Allah accept it from us, inshallah ta'ala. The PDF updated, Sheikh, I need you to send. We agreed that inshallah tomorrow, we will be sending all the updated with the.
We have all the updates we have just downloaded from the Nusuk system, inshallah, with the configuration things, and we'll be posting updates every day, inshallah. So bear with us if we're giving you
tomorrow, inshallah, in the morning.
If we are giving you more and more updates and PDF, just be careful of that. You going through the latest one, inshallah. We'll be trying to give you as much as we can, the status of the configuration and things. And that's because we want you to prepare And in case you have to change your mind of a package that you were seeing and you have to change your mind, you will have to, because this is how it increases your chances of a successful booking, inshallah ta'ala.
I'm going to answer a few more quick questions, and I did say I'm going to finish in a few minutes, and I have gone over. So very fast, and it will benefit everyone. Do you know the capacity of Mawasim Silver 20? Yes, we do. We will inform you tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala. Do you provide a SIM? We do not provide a SIM per se ourselves. The service providers, some of them will include it. You look at the extras at the bottom of the page of each package. If it says SIM, they'll provide SIM. If it doesn't, then no problem. It's a matter of a couple of pounds, 10, 15
All
pounds.
the packages, all the packages on Nusuk this year, inshallah, they are obligated to provide you a SIM card, and service provider is working hard to do that, inshallah. As you can see, it's available as a free, whether
Okay.
you select it or not, but they are going to arrange a SIM card
Okay.
for
Good
everyone.
news. On that note, that's for later. Registering SIMs, that's another whole mission. We'll talk about that later. You need your fingerprints and all sorts, right? But that's for later. Let's get confirmed on the Hajj. Then it's very exciting days are coming, inshallah. For those who, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it can be the case that you're sitting here, maybe you won't get the package. Please bear patience and leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just keep making dua and Allah will accept, inshallah. WhatsApp
My
works.
advice will be, Sheikh, to everyone that, even if you have selected a package as your most favorite one, and you selected an option B and option C as well, but always keep some extra sufficient fund in your wallet, so
Yeah.
that the day of the booking, if you have to change your mind, and don't be late. If you see the package that you have selected does not have a space, don't overthink. You want to do Hajj this year. So immediately you move to the next one which has availability, inshallah, and book it. And this is the one of the reasons that we as a team, we are working with 3 different service providers here, inshallah. And this is way, the quota that we have between the 3 service providers is larger than the quota for the United Kingdom itself. So inshallah, you will find a package that suitable for you within the three providers.
Okay, some people said WhatsApp call works with VPN. Yes, it does, but it takes a lot of battery power, and there are some limitations for some phones, etc. But anyway, that's for later. Thank you for that. If you book with another service provider, can you still go with you? Unfortunately, not, because we cannot be spread so thinly and work with so many service providers. But inshallah ta'ala, this is unfortunately the case. This is how it is, and we want to focus on delivering and according to our ability, inshallah ta'ala. So anything that we are supporting, then book those, and you'll get our guidance, inshallah. Okay, my sister-in-law said that when they go for Umrah, they do their Umrah, then travel 6 hours to their hotel, and said it would be easier if the hotel was booked. I didn't understand the question. The hotel was booked there. I assume they done shifting. Do you know which would be better? Shifting and non-shifting, brothers and sisters. We have done webinars on that. Now, call us, Brother Nazim, call us, so I can understand what you need tomorrow. I don't want to cause confusion. But is there Abdul Latif group chat? There isn't a group chat very active, so use the Hassan Travel, but join the Telegram groups, and we'll reshare those links on the Hassan group, inshallah. Okay.
We have in Abdul Latif Jamil, we have a Q&A chat in Telegram, and one is for public announcement. The public announcement is very useful, so that you get all the announcement directly whenever something is there. But same thing we are posting in Hassan Travel Telegram group anyway. So if you choose to stay with Hassan Travel, you are good to go. But if you want to be updated from them as well, we will be sharing with you on the chat box now the website of the Abdul Latif Jamil, and from there we can join their Telegram channels.
Okay, in regards to important information that we receive while booking custom flights about entering and exiting KSA, that's to do with airlines arrival to Saudi Arabia must be that the non-Saudi airlines flights must be earlier than around the 5th of Dhul Hijjah, or 6th. It's written there. So you need to abide by that. The only airlines that can come right next to and close to Hajj is Saudi Airlines. So if you select something that's, very late, like coming in, and then it's a non-Saudi airline or local carrier, non-local carrier, so like Gulf Air, Qatar Airways, then that won't work. It will fail. So you can find out if it allows you to go to the end to configure the package, then you know that's safe. So you look at those dates. So Saudi generally will be allowed for all dates, and non-Saudi and any Saudi sort of carrier, they will be limited to coming a few days before. You can't come right into Hajj, closer to the Hajj days. That's what it means.
Up to 4th of Dhul Hijjah. Up to 4th of Dhul Hijjah, all the airlines are allowed to go. After 4th of Dhul Hijjah, means 5th and 6th, only Saudi Airlines and national carrier of Saudi Arabia are allowed to arrive in Saudi, land in Saudi.
Okay, if there is anything that doesn't match from our tables, can you privately inform us with the Sira PDF? Because what happens is sometimes the Nusuk itself, go by what's on Nusuk. Go by, the final answer is Nusuk. And always there should be a disclaimer at the bottom of the table. The tables have been created to help you. Now remember, on the tables, for those who joined late, on each package, if you go to the left side to the name of the package, for example, Moasim Silva, for example, whatever, you click on that and it will take you straight to the page. And on Saturday, we'll show you a demo again on how to go straight to the page very quickly, inshallah ta'ala. We don't want to overcomplicate things and practice having it saved as your bookmark or a favorite on that. But the only way to go to that package straight away is you have to be logged in. So if you click on the package, it won't go to that page unless you're logged in. So you first log in and you have those links and it goes straight to that page. Okay, so nothing to worry about there. Okay, UK visa cost is 3,500, but this year it's been increased to around 7,000. This is from our information. Inshallah ta'ala, we hope that stays the case, inshallah. Traveling to Medina first, absolutely fine, no issue. Remember the main Hajj is in Mina, Arafat, and Muzdalifah. In the past, people stayed for 8 days, 9 days in Medina, and the demographic of people who used to go to Hajj was elderly, so they could take a whole month off. So people would go for a month. But now people are busy, they have work schedules, they have to get back, they have children, childcare issues, and younger people are going to Hajj. And this is what should happen in the world. You'll see a lot of elderly people come, they're not well. If you're healthy, if you're, as Allah says, وَمَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. For those who are able to go, if you're healthy, you should go while you're young, if you can afford it, inshallah. So absolutely, if you go to travel in Medina first, that is absolutely fine according to the Hajj. There's no issue. It doesn't affect your Hajj at all. Now, Jazakumullah khairan. We'll end there, and inshallah, what will happen is I will, any other questions, we will continue in the morning. We will be working throughout the night. Sometimes we respond, sometimes we don't. We didn't set a time, like 9 to 9, working hours. Whenever possible, we reply. I know some brothers and sisters are answering on behalf. May Allah reward them. If there's any corrections need to be made, we do make correction. Otherwise, you see a thumbs up from me or from Muhtadi saying that this is the correct answer. But Jazakumullahu khairan, Brother Ghazi, for joining right at the end. I know you're very busy and planning and working very hard behind the scenes, and all of our team are. My regards to them, my regards to everyone else. And thank you for everyone for joining today. It's been a long sitting, but all of these few hours that you spend will give you a bit more peace and prepare you well. Remember to stay calm and focused, and don't panic at any time, and put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and continuously make dua to Allah Jalla wa ala. Allah accepts your Hajj, and Allah will accept your intention, and whatever the case, however unprepared you are, you will go if Allah decrees it. So tie the camel, attend the webinars, familiarize yourself with the packages, choose 5 packages and 1 in your cart, and top up accordingly, and inshallah ta'ala May Allah grant us, me and you and all of us a successful Hajj this year. فجزاكم الله خيرا. I'll end with the dua istighfar. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Remember, there will be webinars tomorrow and the day after from the service providers. We'll share the link. There will be information about the particular packages. If you're looking at Sira packages, go to the Sira webinar. If you're looking at Holiday Inn packages, go to if you feel like you want to browse every package now, again, reassess everything, absolutely fine as well. Jazakumullah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum. We share on the main Hassan guide group and on the Telegram groups of Abdul Latif Jamil and Sira and Holiday in Mecca. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much for joining.